Hey guys, it's Mr. C or Mr. Cologne here giving you another pop video on Burnt CDs, 80 minutes of goodness, depending on the artist. Today I chose the Beatles, Volume 1, 80 minutes of Beatles, and then Volume 2, second album that has greatest hits, 80 minutes of the Beatles. And as I was going through this, I decided to do this methodology in rough chronological order, with a few caveats. It is their greatest hits. However, there are also songs that I like as well. So when the greatest hits came about, there's really three albums that I looked at. That is the Beatles 1962 to 1966, the Red Album, and the Blue Album 1967 and 1970, and then the Beatles number one hits. And when I do these albums, I like to have an exciting intro. So I try to pick a song that was really exciting. It really opened up the era, although I try to find it to make sure that it was from the 1960s, early 1960s. So it's still fit in a chronological order, but it was also exciting. And I wanted to end melancholy, but a hopeful ending. And usually that's in a later discography in terms of how I ended it. So, all right. So, yes, content warning. Yes, I realize there's the troubling Butcher cover. The baby's there. The Bigger Than Jesus comment that John Lennon made, and then Aleister Crowley, the Satanist, being part of other nefarious fellows. They're at the Sgt. Pepper's album cover, so I wanted to acknowledge that before I move on. And I guess I have no excuse or cope, but I guess I grew up with the Beatles, so I mentally ignore that. I guess in my head canon, but yeah, so I wanted to acknowledge that. My history with the Beatles really started in the mid to late 2000s with their Love album, kind of that era, and then when the Beatles rock band, and then that same day the remastered albums came out. So I think it was a bit of a Beatles renaissance at that time. So yeah, so I guess I was jumping on the bandwagon, but I did like them before then. But I guess it was simmering, kind of like the late '90s, early aughts. Saw a resurgence in Scarface and other things as well. So um, all right, so volume one of my album of 80 minutes that I would put together all these MP3 short songs and put them into one album. And the first song is I Want to Hold Your Hand. I think it's a very catchy song, and I think it's a very, it moves along, so that's why it's number one, despite it not being a true chronological order. And then Can't Buy Me Love, another one of their favorites. She Loves You. Again, these really keep going. And then five. Four for Help and A Hard Day's Night for number five. I think all the first five here are really energetic. And six kind of slows down, but it's a really good song. So it's still in chronological order. Um, in My Life Very Melancholy. I like Johnny Cash's version of the song as well. Cover of this song, so very great. And then we have Famous Yesterday, Blackbird, a very nice acoustic song, if not overplaying. And Your Bird Can Sing, just the melody, how it sounds, two bird songs together, back to back. And I really like, I think And Your Bird Can Sing is one of my top three, top five Beatles songs. Here Comes the Sun, pretty good song. I guess it's here because it fit in the album and it's popular. I have four volumes that I did. This is volume one, so I guess I thought of it that highly that it's in this volume. Hello Goodbye, another one, and then Obla Di Obla Da. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds for 14. 15, I Am the Walrus. 16, Helter Skelter. 17, Back in the USSR. And then 18, Dear Prudence. And those two have Back in the USSR leads into Dear Prudence. That's why really it's there. That's an okay song. It's a very rock and roll song. I guess that's why Helter Skelter is also close to it as well. But Dear Prudence is also my top three of the top five Beatles songs. Can You Take Me Back? I really like that ending, that hidden song, so to speak, that's found in the end of Cry Baby Cry. And there's also an anthology version, but I just find the Cry Baby Cry version that happens at the end of that song and fan made remixes of that. Awesome. And we have Revolution, the more rock and roll version, the one that's more quote unquote hardcore. And then George Harrison's famous, and then Prince, also a famous cover of While My Guitar Gently Weeps. We have Hey Jude. I guess just a popular favorite, so it's all You Need His Love. Across the Universe, one of my top five versions. I forgot to put that this is the Let It Be Naked version, but yes, be the Let It Be Naked version of this song. And Long and Winding Road is the Let It Be Naked version of that song as well, and that's one of my favorite songs. So the last two are one of my favorite songs. And Long and Winding Road really, I think, closes out. It's very melancholy. It really closes out the album. So Volume Two. So these were like second best or songs that were real good, but could not fit them in Volume One for one reason or another. We have one of my favorites from Ringo, One After 909. I think it's very energetic to start off the album. We have Ticket to Ride, Eleanor Rigby. These are popular ones. We Can Work It Out, another popular one, Getting Better. Yellow Submarine, Octopus's Garden, similar theming, right? Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, a little help with my friends, and then 10, top 8 of my favorites here. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the reprise of it. Hey Bulldog, also probably top 10. Penny Lane, that's a popular song. Strawberry Fields Forever. Actually, the version from the Love album is one of my top 3 songs or top 5. It's fantastic. I think because it ends with a "Hello Goodbye" coda ending there. It's a nice little mix. Magical Mystery Tour, Glass Onion, Cry Baby Cry, Happiness is a Warm Gun, Something, Come Together. Although my favorite Come Together is actually the Aerosmith version, but this is, they were one of the originals. The original, so. A Day in the Life. I do like the Love version, it's pretty good as well. Get Back. And I should mention the Get Back is Let It Be Naked version. The Two of Us as well. Two of Us top 5 song. Let It Be is Let It Be Naked version. Real Love could be top 10 as well. One of their last songs before Now and then Free as a Bird from Anthology One. I think it's a great way to end an album, so that's why it's here. Ever since Now and Then is coming out, I just wanted to put it there. And I had that song for a while, two 2010s mix of it, so we'll see how the new one turns out. And anyways, guys, this is the Beatles. If you had an 80-minute CDR that you wanted to burn,